What makes the RAAF in 2026 so different from the Air Force of over a decade ago? It is no longer just a collection of aircraft. It is a fully networked, fifth-generation force where every major combat platform is digitally connected. A Triton can detect a target hundreds of kilometers away and pass that data to an E-7A Wedgetail. The Wedgetail can then assign that target to an F-35A that may not even have seen it on its own sensors, yet can launch a missile guided all the way in by the network. And all of this can happen under the protective umbrella of an EA-18G Growler, jamming and blinding enemy radars. This is not platform warfare, this is networked combat. If you want a more detailed look at some of the aircraft, I did a breakdown of the RAAF supporting aircraft recently, and you can check out that video by clicking the link up here. But today, we're doing a tier list ranking of all the aircraft in the ADF, from training aircraft to massive refuelers and jets. Are they in S tier or falling short down in D tier? Let's find out, because today we're talking tactics. F-35A Lightning II. Starting with the F-35A, the invisible flying brain of the RAAF. This aircraft sees the battlefield through radar, infrared electronic surveillance, and data links, then fuses it all into one coherent picture. It can execute its mission long before the enemy even knows it's there. In a modern fight, that matters more than raw speed. The F-35 is built for first look, first shot, first kill. And in that role, it is exceptional. But I'm not placing it in S tier, because while it is a phenomenal sensor and strike platform, it has average dogfighting abilities. In a close-in turning fight, it's just good, not dominant. So it goes in A tier. EA-18G Growler. It's the only dedicated tactical jammer in the Western world, and arguably the most advanced. The Growler shuts down enemy radars, blinds air defense systems, and opens corridors for other aircraft to survive. In modern warfare, if you cannot see, you cannot fight. The Growler ensures the enemy cannot see it, and so it sits in S tier. FA-18F Super Hornet. The Super Hornet is a heavy hitter, whether it's air-to-air, air-to-ground, or air-to-sea. It does everything well. Yes, it is an upgraded version of an older platform. Yes, it lacks stealth, but it remains extremely capable, especially when paired with the Growler. It is the dependable workhorse of the combat fleet. While it's not cutting edge anymore, it's still very dangerous. B tier. C-17A Globemaster III. The undisputed heavy lifter of the modern world. It can carry tanks, helicopters, massive equipment, and still operate from relatively short airstrips. When Australia needs to deploy forces, deliver aid, or move at scale, the C-17 makes it all possible. Without lift, strategy collapses, and so the C-17 is definitely S tier. C-130J-30 Hercules. The Hercules isn't revolutionary or unique, but it is the benchmark tactical airlifter. The design is decades old, yet constantly getting upgraded. It delivers troops, vehicles, supplies, humanitarian aid, and special forces into austere environments. Every air force measures itself against the Hercules. Solid, proven, and essential. B tier. What a great name too. C-27J Spartan. The Spartan is a battlefield airlifter for rough strips and tight missions. It was meant to provide a niche capability in between the Chinook helicopter and the Hercules. It is capable and performs well, but the niche it was designed for has proven smaller than expected. Useful, but not transformational. C tier. KC-30A multi-role tanker transport. This is one of the best air-to-air refuelers on the planet. Full stop. The KC-30 extends the range of fighters, surveillance aircraft, and other transports. It multiplies combat power without firing a shot, and if required, it can carry up to 270 troops. Range equals power, and the KC-30 gives Australia reach. S tier. 737 Boeing business jet. Within the world of VIP transport, these MAX 8 variants are excellent. They're modern, efficient, and secure, but at the end of the day, they are luxury airliners, important for diplomacy and national leadership mobility, but not exactly war-winning capability. C tier. KA350 King Air. The King Air has been a dependable light utility workhorse for years. It is reliable, cost-effective, and flexible enough to handle training, light transport, and surveillance support roles without fuss. The problem is not performance, it's relevance. In a 2026 Air Force built around persistence, data, and advanced networking, the King Air is increasingly squeezed. Uncrewed systems can stay airborne far longer. The King Air still has a job to do, particularly in lower intensity or support roles, but when stacked against the future force, its strategic weight is limited. D tier. Dassault Falcon 7X. The Falcon 7X sits at the other end of the spectrum. It is not about utility or training. It is about precision, speed, and discreet VIP transport. As a high-end business jet adapted for government use, it excels at moving small teams quickly and comfortably across the region. It is efficient and well-suited to diplomatic or sensitive transport missions. But in a combat-focused tier list, its impact is narrow. It does not shape battles or extend reach in a military sense. A capable, specialist platform, just not a strategic game changer. C tier. P-8A Poseidon. The P-8 is a 737 with teeth. It is the premier maritime surveillance aircraft and submarine hunter in the region. It carries anti-submarine torpedoes, anti-ship missiles, advanced radar, and acoustic sensors. In a country surrounded by ocean, this aircraft is critical. But it is still a derivative airline platform, and it relies heavily on support from other assets like the Triton and Wedgetail. Exceptional at its job, but sitting in A tier. E-7A Wedgetail. Australia's flying eye in the sky. The Wedgetail is so successful that the United States and the United Kingdom are potentially buying it. It manages the air battle, directs fighters, tracks threats, and coordinates operations. Without situational awareness, even the best fighters are blind. The Wedgetail gives the RAAF vision and control. Absolutely S tier. MQ-4C Triton. This thing is basically a satellite with a return ticket. Triton flies higher than commercial airliners and can remain airborne for more than 24 hours at a time. From that vantage point, its radar and electro-optical systems can sweep enormous areas of ocean, tracking ships, monitoring patterns of life, and identifying anomalies thousands of kilometers from the Australian coastline. For a maritime nation responsible for one of the largest areas of ocean on Earth, this is strategic gold. It does not just collect data, it feeds directly into the wider force. Information from Triton can be passed to P-8 Poseidons, surface ships, or even land-based strike systems. In an era where warning time is everything, Triton extends Australia's eyes deep into the Indo-Pacific quietly and persistently. This is not just useful, that is foundational. It's in S tier. Pilatus 21. The PC-21 is often called the 21st century trainer, and that is not marketing hype. This turboprop can simulate jet performance characteristics, advanced avionics, and weapons systems at a fraction of the cost of running frontline fighters. It has fundamentally modernized how the RAAF trains pilots. It is not glamorous, it is not armed, but it builds every future fighter pilot in Australia. A tier. Hawk 127. The Hawk has served Australia well as a lead-in fighter trainer, but the RAAF is now a digital air force, and the Hawk is becoming analog. As the PC-21 and advanced simulators take over more training roles, the Hawk's relevance is fading. Honourable service, but its time is passing. D tier. MC-55A Peregrine. The Peregrine is brand new to service and is the bloodhound of the sky. If there is a signal to be found, it will sniff it out. This aircraft specializes in electronic intelligence and signals intelligence. It hunts emissions, maps networks, and builds a picture of the electromagnetic battlefield. In a modern war, information is survival. It's early in its service life. Australia only just received the first in January 2026, but it looks like a very serious capability. A tier, the Ghost Bat. And let's give a special mention to the MQ-28 Ghost Bat uncrewed aircraft. It's Australia's first locally designed jet in decades. It's autonomous, modular, and designed to fly alongside crewed fighters. It's still evolving and being tested, but its potential is enormous. If autonomy becomes central to air combat, Ghost Bat could leap to A or even S tier in the future. For now, high potential, early stage, B tier. What do you think? Do you agree with my rankings? Which aircraft should be lower or higher? And are there any S tier capabilities that you think Australia should acquire? Let me know in the comments section down below. That's it for today. I'm Mel Pikos, and we've been talking tactics.